I know you're in the middle of this, but you know, congratulations on the success, because to see it, I saw it next to the crown and I was like, wow, this is a big moment. And again, I knew this was coming for about 6 months and I didn't know, and to have it received on that platform with eyeballs, when also it actually made me feel good about humanity as well, Graham, because people had so many choices on Netflix.
Huge number of choices.
And again, there's a lot of nonsense out there, a lot of stuff that just, I engage this or it's just entertainment. They're spending time watching you going deep into history and archaeology and actually entertaining that when they could be doing anything else was incredible.
I'm very encouraged by that too.
It's good. Yeah. And then of course, you unfortunately have to deal with all the pushback and the hate and the ridiculous allegations. But on the same point, it's a sign that you're doing something important and it's going to get you more eyeballs. So I know in the short term it can be a pain and difficult, but in the long run it just means your message is being more effective. And for me, this was the crowning achievement, or one of many crowning achievements to your whole career of hard work that a lot of times wasn't noticed unless they were Graham Hancock fans, etc. But for me, it felt like your overnight success for the world, right? After 30 years.
Yeah. I feel very privileged to have been given that opportunity by Netflix. I feel very privileged. It's a rare opportunity to be given that space, eight episodes, to present a thesis and a case which goes against the mainstream. I feel very, very lucky to have had that chance, and I hope in the series that I've lived up to that opportunity.
Yeah, we were extremely well made, extremely interesting. And
I was lucky to have an incredibly good team. Not many people know this, but Netflix don't make many programs directly themselves. Almost all their programming is brought in from independent producers. And I was very lucky that the independent producer in this case was ITN Productions here in the UK. That's the team who make independent television news. Yeah. They also have a production house. And they were the ones who initially approached me and said, would I be interested in making a series? And then they pitched it to Netflix. And eventually, it took more than a year, but eventually the series was picked up by Netflix. And I was very lucky that it was ITN Productions who were the production company, because they're represented all over the world. They're a highly professional news team. I had an excellent director in the form of Mark Tiley, excellent executive producer in the form of Bruce Kennedy, fantastic camera crew and sound crew, drone crews. Yeah. Everybody was working at the peak of their professional expertise and doing a beautiful job, and very dedicated to that job. So I feel very, very privileged, first of all, to have had the chance of making the series at all, and secondly, for the great team from ITN Productions that I worked with.
Yeah, and it shows. It really shows. And I watched a lot of content. We create a lot of content, and it showed. And it just took what was a great message to the next level.
Thank you.
And so, congrats to the team. Congrats to you. And I just want to thank you for being you.
Thank you,
through your career. But I mean, honestly, you're out there slaying dragons. And you would have it could have been convenient not to talk about your psychedelic journey. It could have been very convenient for you not to write fully fledged fiction books about ayahuasca. Again, that would get more.
I want to clarify that particular point, actually, because I am known as a non-fiction author, and that's what I write, and that's what I make my living from. I write non-fiction books. I'm not known as a novelist, but weirdly enough, in a series of ayahuasca sessions that I had in Brazil in 2006, I think it was, or 2007, I was given the whole story of a novel in visions over a period of 5 days. And I was given a very specific instruction by Mother Ayahuasca, which is, you are going to go away and you're going to write this. And I did. I went away and I wrote a novel called Entangled, which very much concerns psychedelic issues. A young woman 24,000 years ago, a young woman today who are entangled in time, doing battle with a demon who travels across time. This was the idea that came to me from ayahuasca. And then subsequently, because I found I enjoyed writing novels, I've written a series of 3 novels about the Spanish conquest of Mexico called War God. Yeah. There's a fourth novel to complete that series. Well, very few people buy my fiction because I'm known as a non-fiction author. But I'm glad that ayahuasca gave me the incentive to explore my own potential to write fiction. And if people enjoyed those books, great, I'm very happy. But fundamentally, I did it for me. I wanted to see if I could do it. I wanted to challenge myself and explore a different field of writing. And once ayahuasca had given me the courage to do that, I found in the second series of books, the War God series, that I could really get into writing fiction. There's stuff you can do with fiction that you can't do with nonfiction. You can get inside your characters' heads. You can explain motives to people in a way that's very difficult to do in nonfiction. But then the last of the War God novels, I think I finished in 2013, and then suddenly came out this mass of new information on the lost civilization and the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, and I had to go back to that. And so I put the novels aside and I went back to writing nonfiction, and I published Magicians of the Gods in 2015 and then America Before in 2019. And these are detailed, in-depth, factual investigations of the mystery of our past. And everything is kind of brought together in Ancient Apocalypse, the series on Netflix.
Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you, my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.